Have you ever felt like navigating government requirements is basically like trying to solve a puzzle in the dark? Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're flipping the lights on. We're going to take all those complex, confusing, bureaucratic rules and transform them into a simple, highly actionable, step-by-step guide to getting your Louisiana state ID.
I mean, let's be real for a second. Have you ever waited for hours at the Office of Motor Vehicles only to get to the front of the line and be sent home just because you brought a digital copy instead of a printed one? If you have, you know exactly how painful that is. We're going to tackle that universal frustration head on right now. Consider this step-by-step explainer your ultimate stress-saving solution. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what you need before you even step foot outside your door. So here's our roadmap. We've broken this journey down into 6 sections. First, the Louisiana ID Survival Guide. Second, gathering your essential documents. Third, navigating the application process. Fourth, fees, payment, and delivery. Fifth, renewals, duplicates, and updates. And finally, a recap and disclaimer. Okay, let's just dive right in. Section 1, the Louisiana ID Survival Guide, covering eligibility and basics. Let's start with who's actually eligible, because, this applies to everyone from young teens getting their very first card, all the way up to adults who just need an upgrade. For first-time adults, so that's anyone 17 and older, you're on the standard path. But for minors, the requirements are a bit more structured. If the applicant is 16 or under, a parent or legal guardian absolutely must be present with their own documents and provide a signature. Oh, and here's a really cool detail. If the applicant is 15 or younger, the state actually offers a brilliant 2- or 4-year ID option through a program called the Protect and Save Our Children program. Right, let's move on to Section 2, gathering your essential documents, the scavenger hunt. Honestly, pay close attention because this is easily the most critical part of this entire explainer. You have to make a choice right now. Do you want a standard ID or a real ID? Because that choice completely changes what you need to bring. A standard ID is going to be literally branded with the words "not for federal identification." On the flip side, the real ID has this little gold star on it. It complies with strict federal security standards, and most importantly, it's what actually allows you to board a commercial flight. Now, the OMV is incredibly strict about the exact combination of documents you bring. If you're going for the standard ID, you have to satisfy one of these specific formulas, kind of like a recipe, or they will turn you away. Option 1, 1 primary document, 2 secondary documents, and 1 proof of Louisiana residency. Option 2, 2 primary documents and 1 proof of residency. Or option 3, just present a current, valid Louisiana driver's license, assuming all your demographic info perfectly matches their database. So what do those categories actually mean? Well, primary documents are your heavy hitters. Think a certified domestic birth certificate, an unexpired U.S. passport, or a current military ID. Secondary documents are things like a social security card, a photo student ID from a Louisiana school, or your medical insurance card. But here is the absolute most important takeaway. All of these identity documents must be original or certified paper copies. Seriously, I cannot stress this enough. Digital copies on your phone will not work. Do not walk up to the counter with a screenshot of your birth certificate. They will literally just send you home. Now, if you're upgrading to that real ID, the formula shifts a bit. You'll need 1 primary document, explicit verification of your social security number, and, this is the big difference, 2 printed proofs of Louisiana residency instead of just 1. For the social security number, they can verify it verbally through a database, or you can bring a physical W-2, an official pay stub, or your actual social security card. For the residency proofs, utility statements or unexpired Louisiana voter registration cards are perfect, but they absolutely must show your legal name and your current physical address. Okay, you've got your paperwork together. Let's head into Section 3, navigating the application process and securing your appointment. Stop right there. Before you even think about booking a visit, you need to check your record status online. Louisiana has this digital payment system called Fix My Flags. This is a total game changer. If you have any administrative blocks, outstanding debts, or active suspensions on your profile, the system won't let you proceed anyway. So use Fix My Flags to clear those hurdles remotely, and you'll save yourself a massive headache at the actual office. The state calls this Pathway A for first-time adult applicants, and it flows really logically. Step 1, check your record status and fix those flags. Step 2, assemble your physical printed documents. Step 3, go to expresslane.org and schedule your appointment. Step 4, actually show up for in-person processing because yes, you have to be there in person for your initial photo. And Step 5, pay your fees. Speaking of fees, let's jump into Section 4, Fees, Payment, and Delivery. Basically, what happens when it's time to open up your wallet?
When you're finally standing at that counter, you've got a few payment options. The OMV takes cash, credit or debit cards, checks, and certified funds like a money order or a cashier's check. Now keep in mind your total fee is a combination of a base charge, a handling surcharge, and sometimes a local parish convenience fee. Because of that, the exact dollar amount can vary slightly depending on exactly which field office or public tag agent you go to. All right, the magic number to remember here is 30. Once you pay up and get approved, the examiner is going to hand you a temporary paper slip. That's your ID for now because it can take a maximum of 30 days to actually receive your permanent hard copy ID card in the mail at your verified residential address.
But what if it doesn't show up? Well, here is a fantastic troubleshooting pro tip straight from the OMV. If your card gets lost in the mail and you don't have it after 30 days, do not just sit around waiting. You have exactly a 60-day window from your original application date to go back to a field office and claim a free replacement. Seriously, if you miss that 60-day cutoff, you're going to have to pay all those fees completely over again.
So you have your ID, now what? Let's talk about the future in Section 5, renewals, duplicates, and updates. Look, eventually you're going to lose your ID, or it's going to expire. When that happens, there are alternative services that can help you avoid a trip to the OMV entirely. You can use the LA Wallet app for super fast digital renewals. On the app, a standard ID renewal costs the base $27 fee plus a $23 convenience fee. Or you could hit up a public tag agent like FastPass Tag and Title. They can knock out renewals, duplicates, and name changes super fast. Just remember, they generally cannot do first-time issuances unless you already have a Louisiana driver's license record on file. Now, here is a tricky legal requirement that catches a lot of people off guard: the number 10. If you move, Louisiana state law says you have exactly 10 days to notify the OMV and update your address. And here's the catch: you can't just do it online. You have to go in person, and you have to bring at least one original proof of Louisiana residency showing that brand new physical address. Oh, and a massive warning for anyone trying to renew online. If you have an old standard ID and you try to renew it over the internet without ever having gone into an office to get that real ID upgrade, your new card is going to arrive with that same not for federal identification stamp. If you want a real ID, your very first upgrade literally has to be handled in person at a field office or a public tag agent. No exceptions.
All right, let's bring it all home. Section 6, Final Recap and Disclaimer, getting you completely ready for the OMV.
If you stick to this action plan, you take what is normally a super stressful chore and turn it into a totally predictable errand. First, verify your eligibility and check Fix My Flags. Second, print out your original documents and match them up perfectly to the standard or real ID formula. Third, schedule your appointment online so you skip the massive lines. And finally, once you get that shiny new credential in the mail, go ahead and set up LA Wallet so you never have to deal with this for a simple renewal again.
Now, just one quick disclaimer to cover our bases before we finish up. State procedures, those document matrices, and local parish fees, they can and do change based on new legislation and OMV policies. So always double-check the absolute latest fee structures and requirements directly with the official Louisiana Office of Motor Vehicles at expresslane.org before you make the trip.
You've got the entire playbook now. You know the exact formula of paperwork to bring. You definitely know not to show up with digital screenshots, and you know how to clear your flags ahead of time. But with apps like LA Wallet becoming so popular, it really makes you wonder, how long is it going to be before physical IDs and the offices that print them just become a thing of the past entirely? Something to think about. But until then, you are 100% ready to conquer the OMV. Drop your OMV success stories or any questions you still have in the comments below, and we will see you in the next explainer.